to the back.
Oh, you're on the front.
Let's get the back so you can be comfortable. Stephen, you need to go at the back step.
You don't want a circle of life, you just want us in a group, right?
Once the barriers. Okay, let's do this. Get us out of that comfort zone. Right,
Front view.
So it's wonderful to be here. Thank you for the opportunity, genuinely. Thank you very much. So here I am. I'm waiting in a queue. I'm waiting for the number 59 bus. I'm in Brixton, South London. It's a cool, chilly autumn evening. It's 11:30 on a Friday night. For those of you who know about British culture, it's end of pub time. I walk out onto Brixton Main Road and I stand in a queue for the bus and I'm waiting. In front of me are two guys having a conversation about the big game on Saturday. And behind me are two couples gossiping about their boss at work. I get onto the bus, I sit down at the front. There are about 50 people in the bus, of all different shapes and sizes and religions, and something's not right. I can't put my finger on it. And the bus pulls away. And then I get it. It's quiet. It's not quiet, it's as quiet as a graveyard. 50 adults from all over the world in one bus, silent. A voice starts in my head. This is not right. What's going on here? Why don't you get up and make a speech? Si, why don't you do something? Break the silence, anything but this. And then this voice that I recognize comes in from my left. It's my mother. Darling, don't be ridiculous. You'll only embarrass yourself. And after all, what will people think? What will people think? And there I get it. There's my life, in the crossroads. I can go left or I can go right. I'm now officially terrified. I've laid myself the challenge that I'm going to speak to and enter the realm of the crazy folk on this bus on a Friday night. I'm going up the road, up Brixton Hill, to see my friend Susie, my old friend, where I'm going to be staying the night. I've got about between 4 and 5 minutes to deliver this speech, and I'm thinking that I'm crazy. I need to get up and start speaking. What do I do? The only thing that I can do is to imagine that I'm jumping out of an aeroplane, and I see the lights. 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go! But still, I stay seated, paralyzed with fear. What am I going to do? There's an opportunity. I sense that I'm on the edge of something extraordinary. And then I decide I'm going to do it. I'm going to stand up. I jump up, and I hear this voice. It must have been my military training, and I hear this voice saying, get up, now! It's like someone's life depends on it. I've got to do it. Time is running out. We're starting to go up the hill. I stand up, move to the edge of the road. I'm now standing in front of 50 silent people. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simon. It's very quiet in here, isn't it? I just thought I'd fill a little bit of time by giving you a speech. I'm not going to talk about religion. I'm not drunk, unusually, for this Friday night. But I've been thinking that it's very quiet in here. So I'm passionate about people. I love what's possible for people. And I'm particularly passionate about South Africa, where I'm returning to live. And you know, when I think about South Africa and the extraordinary miracle that happened in South Africa, I can't help but think of Nelson Mandela. And I think to myself, so now I'm going, right? I'm talking. I think to myself, well, you know, what's the difference between you, me, and Nelson Mandela? Well, actually very little, as it happens, except one small but significant thing is for him, his word, his commitment to something extraordinary beyond himself. His word was unbreakable. And yet most of us, we try things, don't we? We say we must save. We say we must have the difficult conversations. We say we must have go to the gym. And how long does that last, folks? How long does that last? a few days, a few weeks, and then it's on to the next thing, right? And suddenly, the bus stops. A lady gets on. She looks around and says, you know, wonderful Cockney accent. Yeah, mate, what are you doing? Are you the next Jerry Springer or what? Undeterred, I carry on speaking. A woman in a West African dress suppresses a smile. Over there on the right and halfway back, two women, one digs the other in the ribs and suppresses a smile. At the back, a gentleman from Pakistan pipes up. You know, this is all very well. I got to tell you, you're talking about freedom. You're talking about opportunity. But in South Africa, that might be okay. But in Pakistan, you speak up. You make a stand for something. You want to make a difference. You get your throat cut. And this is what happens. There's a Scottish woman. Oh, leave him alone. Let him finish. Carry on undeterred, and then as the bus progresses, I see my bus stop. It's outside the window, and there I look to the back of the bus, and I lock my gaze onto something that scares me, because he's there. This man who is 6'5". He has a ginger shaven head. He has a deep scar going down his left cheek. He's looking right at me. No, he's looking through me. And he has something interesting around his neck, and as I get closer, I see that he has a dotted line, and underneath the dotted line, written in large capital letters, is "cut here." I walk towards him, and I think, I walk up to him. He stands right in front of my path. He leans right up to me. I can smell the cigarettes, the stale beer, the garlic from the pizza. He leans right in front of me and he says to me, "Mate, there's a lot of people are gonna think you're fucking mad. Don't ever stop what you're doing." Now fuck off. I get out of the bus. I can barely contain myself. My knees are almost giving away. It's not through the terror of my experience. It's that I've had a breakthrough. I've overcome something deep within myself. I've found courage. I found uncommon courage. No, common courage, because it was always there. But what I did was I opened my heart. I became as vulnerable as a little child, and what I found was that I had the courage and the strength of a lion. I have carried on doing what he did, what he suggested I should do, because he told me I shouldn't stop doing it.
You're too scared.
Exactly, I was too scared not to. So since then, I've done many of these talks, hundreds of these talks in buses, planes, trains, automobiles. I've crashed boardrooms, I've raided sales meetings, and some amazing things have happened. So since in 2012, I first started off an intense program of this, which was do 90 talks in 90 days. Then the next year, last year, I did 365 talks in 365 days, and this year I've set myself a goal of speaking to 10,000 random strangers. And all the time, the response seems to be the same. People just somehow seem to get it. They seem to get that because maybe my message is clear, maybe there's some authenticity, maybe there's some show of vulnerability, the people seem to get it. So ladies and gentlemen, what I did on that bus created this new profession for myself called a teacher of courage. And every time to even utter those words sends me into a state of fear and panic. But what I observe is that fear, on that bus I discovered that when we step forward into our fear, remarkable, extraordinary things happen, and you all know exactly what I'm talking about. We are hardwired for struggle. We are not hardwired for laziness and sitting in front of TVs and at desks. That's not what we do. That's not who we are. Think about that little seed that made its way up to the egg, fighting like a fucking madman to get to the seed, to get to the egg. And then we're born into this world It's a fight! It's a dog fight! And then we're cuddled and cooed and layered in fat and comfort, and we wonder why we don't fulfill our potential. So I've discovered a whole bunch of things, and I'm going to share one of the most important lessons I've got out of all of this process. And it is this. I believe, that as human beings, we think that fear will someday miraculously disappear. Well, here's the good news and the bad news. It's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. Have you noticed?
I did.
In fact, it's getting more, right? So here's the thing that I discovered, is that if we allow fear to be, it dominates us. When we launch into fear, we're able to move and progress, and nothing significant ever got done without courage. In fact, Winston Churchill said that courage is the primary, the most important of all virtues, for without it, everything else depends. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have now, out of this process, invented a 3-step methodology that I call the ABC of courage. A is authenticity, B is belief, and C is, guess what? Courage. We need to be authentic and truthful to our hearts, to ourselves. We need to have belief in ourselves and in the outcome. And we need to step forward with boldness and with courage. Think for a moment about something you're putting off, something you're not getting to, some dream you're not doing, and ask yourself, what is authentic for you? What is your absolute belief about yourself? And see, what are you going to do about it? We all have an opportunity now to do something extraordinary. Fear is the door, ladies and gentlemen. Courage is the key, the one that we possess. What it now takes is for you to put the key in the door, turn it, and open the door to the life that is waiting for all of us. Thank you. Wow.
Can we sit down? It's the ability to be able to manage it.
Absolutely.
No, you see now.
Should have played first, though.
What would you do?
Stop doing it.
It's completely